G'day and welcome to my garage. Okay, I need to make a gauge so that the boring bar runs parallel with the bedways, and also to centre the boring bar to the bearing housing. The bore has to be centred to the split half of the bearing housing. If the bearing housing was larger on one side than the other, then the radius of that bore, it would start to roll back around past centre, which would mean then, let's take it on extremes, if it was out here somewhere, you're not going to get the bushing into the journal without having to put it in from the side. Also, you're not clamping forces needed to crush that bearing down to size to fit the spindle shaft. Same way as the bushings in the quill support were cut, so that they become a little bit flexible, so you can crush those down to the shaft size. Same will be happening in the spindle head bearings. So this shaft has to be centre to the spindle head journal or bore, and also as best we can get parallel to the bedways. It doesn't matter if it's a little bit out to the bedways, because the bar is not travelling. The cross slide here is travelling. But anyhow, we need to keep it as best we can. So need to know the distance from the back edge of the bedways to the centre of that, or to the join between the cap and the main body. So just putting a square off the bed, and we're about 53 millimetres. Okay, we'll take 53 millimetres. That'll work. So, yeah, to make a simple sheet metal, not a light sheet metal, you want something about 0.9 or 16 gauge sheet. Heavier if you want to work with it, but it's not necessary. And it's just that's the wrong way, try that way. So this leg will hook on the back of the bed, and 45 millimetres away, which is 53 millimetres to the centre of the journal, and our boring bar is 16 millimetres, so half of that is 8. 8 comes off the 53, we end up with a 45 millimetre distance. Now we need this to be right angles. The bit cut off the corner there, that's just to make it look pretty and take away any sharp edges that might get in the way. It's not necessary. It's only a gauge that won't be used very often. I'll put a hole in it somewhere and hook it up on the wall on a nail, and it'll probably sit there for well until I die, unless I throw it out. But I don't think so. Just in case I need to align that bar again. But yeah, not to worry. So off I go and cut up some sheet metal. Catch you later. Bye. So here we have the gauge. So that's 8mm off the split line there of the journal, which is half the thickness. Here, so this is just a simple case of screwing your work table fore or aft until you just get a nice contact on there, and then measure it against the, you can't see that, measure it against the back and make it parallel. I'm in the process of making the gauge, the test gauge for the to measure the depth of the cutter in the boring bar. A simple little gauge, just a block of 16mm key stock, 16mm square, a number of holes. I was down to the last threading the last hole and broke the tap. Well, I could easily just make another one, but I don't think I will. I think I'll just cut it off at that hole and then move it over, make it a bit closer. That'll do. That's really annoying. They don't give you a warning, do they? They just break. No. Okay, the new hole, excuse me, the new hole's been drilled and tapped. So I've just rolled over the nose there just to give, yeah, I don't know, just to make it look pretty. Stupid thing to do, but hey. So what I'm going to do is this is the adjustment screw, the other one is the clamping. Excuse me. So that's tight now. Yeah, that feels good. Okay. What have I got left? Oh, I've got to make the strap, the hook. I think it's bolted onto there. So we're nearly finished. Catch you a bit later. Okay, just set up a simple hearth there to heat this up, and it works quite well. Actually, it works beautifully. Okay, that's the hook onto the metal. Now that's got to be mounted to this block. Anyhow, that way. That's pretty hot, that end. But bit of map gas and a half. Oh no, it's only 25 by 3 mil flat iron, but it's handy to have a simple half. I must make a small one. That's the white block that you see is the well, here in Australia it's a Hebel block, aerated concrete. I think it is. I did a test on that particular block actually. It's amazing how well insulated it is. I think I did about 35 minutes and you could still touch the back of it. I was quite impressed with it. The only thing is the block becomes relatively brittle. Hence it broke at about 1/3 mark. Well, at the mark that I was putting all the heat and sticking all the heat into it. But anyhow, simple half, a little bit of matte gas, and a vise, a couple of 16mm pegs, and we've got a beautiful little hook. So we'll let that cool while I have a cup of coffee. Catch you later. I just need to massage this a little bit because it's only just fitting that. I'll open it up slightly. Fits perfect. Just prettying up this block. I'll clean the others up after I take some measurement. Gingery doesn't give any measurement for that leg, so I'm just eyeballing it. Yes, I was just going to comment that Gingery was, the material sizes he mentioned are specific. The boring bar is 5/8 or 16mm, so he's mentioned using 5/8 or 16mm key stock. Of course, that will mean when these two screws are fitted and drilled and tapped, it's down the centre line of the 16mm, which will also put those two screws on the centre line of the 16mm or 5/8 boring bar. So but he doesn't mention, he gives a number of dimensions of where the clamp bolt screws go, and where the clamp screw and the adjusting screw goes. Although I've changed it because I broke a tap, and I wasn't going to make another one. I already had all the, what have we got, 1, 2, 3, 4 holes. I already had all 4 holes drilled, and 3 of them tapped, and 1 of them with a broken tap. So I didn't want to remake it. So this will work. This will work. So there are specific dimensions, but he didn't mention how long this J-shaped strap should be. So I've been thinking about it a little bit, and I thought, well, why don't we just go back to his book, because there's a respectable drawing in the book. Take that off there before I drop it all on the floor. There's a respectable drawing in this book, and using it, where are we? This way? Yep. Using it, well, we know this bar is 16mm in real life, and in this book it's 8mm, so it's half scale. So the distance between the bar, or the boring bar, and the clamp bar, that's 12.5 mil, or half an inch, so that's an inch or 25mm between. So using that, I've set this up so there's 25 in between. Hold that in place, and we'll just scribe off where it's supposed to be, and we'll cut that off. I'll bring you back later. I've just squared up this block to the hook. I've fitted one of the screws in there, and I've got the wrong Allen key. I'll have to go and get that thing. I knew where it was. So yeah, I squared that block up to the hook, and using the tapping sized drill, the hole excuse me, the hole in the plate for that side hadn't been done, so I've run the tapping sized drill through there, and it should have created a nice spot on the back here. And you'll also see on the back here, I have a huge problem, always have had a problem with mirror images. I can work them out, that's not a problem, but remembering to do the mirror image, the left image and not 2 rights, or the right image, the right one and not 2 lefts. And that was a problem I had with this. I was on the wrong side. So I ended up with a countersink on this side for the counter screw, and it should have been on this side. So well, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. This still works. I just got to remember when I drill countersink this one, I countersink it on the correct side, because I haven't got a correct side now. I've got both sides countersunk. So again, I could end up with the same problem, which is the side I need to choose. I've got to be really careful of that. So easy to get caught so many times. At least this one I'm not throwing it away. Quite off, too many times actually, you just go, no, that's a structural thing. Throw it away, start again. Or just plain old, you can't use it because you've got two rights instead of a right and a left. Anyhow, the drama continues. I'll drill this hole out and countersink it over in the drill press. I've already got the 10mm drill in there for countersinking. Okay, off to the drill press. Well, I'm happy to say I'm back from the drill press, and I have managed to drill. Notice only the first one I got wrong. The second one, hey, look at that, managed to get it right. Let's put this thing together. Yeah, we'll have to clean up those threads. No, I'll come back, I've got to clean up. Okay, let's try this assembly again. I've cleaned the threads up, put the tap down through them again, and sprayed them through with a bit of WD-40 to clean it up and loosely lubricate. So this should go together. Am I in frame? Sorry if I wasn't.
Head of the screw has stripped. Just can't win with this thing today. Just am not winning. This thing.
Right. It's rounded off the key. The Chinese countersunk screws hung in there. It rounded off the key. Oh well, that's all right. I've still got key left, so that's it. Just got to clean that key up. Get another one. One day, maybe. So let's have a look. It sits in there. This will now come across from there. Silly, you got it the wrong way. Is it that way? That's the way. Bring it around. And of course I didn't bring the Allen key for that. Okay, it holds that firmly in place. Not a good thing to do in this garage. What is it? Stop it. Okay, just have to go back a bit. And then
So the whole
have it.
idea is, we'll say we've just done a cut and we want to increase the cut by 20 thou. Finding a 20 thou feeler gauge, we put that in here and screw this down until we drop the key on the ground for the third or fourth time. So the idea is we now loosen off the cutter and push the cutter up against the nearly adjusted screw, and that has now advanced the cutter 20 thou. So that's a 40 thou overall diameter increase. So yep, it's made. I might just clean it up a bit, maybe. I don't know how excited I'll get, but that's the Gingery boring bar cutter adjustment tool. There we go. Looks good too. You'll probably just get lost in amongst all the other stuff. Alright, that's it for the cutter. Back to the main program. See you later.
Okay, here you can clearly see the setup I have for driving this, which is a cordless drill. Just couldn't last that little bit longer, could it? Alright.